Hey guys, and welcome to the Rhen of Fate 10-man raid guide. The third boss is the Drekanoth of Fate. We use the following raid setup: 1 tank, 1 Fury, 1 Fist Act and 1 support, in our case it was an Oracle. This fight has 3 different phases: a boss phase, a portal phase, and below 25% he will enter the last phase. The boss has the following abilities: Arcane Power. There will be 5 beams that you need to interrupt. He will gain 1 stack of arcane power for each orange beam that reach him. These will increase his damage done. While you interrupt a beam, however, you will gain stacks each second that increase the damage you take. You should not get more than 6 stacks. He has an ability called Zone of Death. This is a cone AoE directed to a player, just avoid that. The next one is Zone of Life. This is exactly the opposite of Zone of Death. There will be a cone directed to a player. This will be the safe zone, everything else will be the one-shot AoE. The whole group has to move quickly into the safe zone before the cast is over. There will be a link mechanic called Chains of Fate. 3 players will be linked with a beam and also have a small AoE around them. They need to stack on top of each other to remove this buff. The easiest way to solve this is to stack on the boss, so everyone knows where to run. He has a tank channel called Particle Pulse. This is a high damage channel on the tank. It ticks for about 25k per tick, with a total of 8 ticks. After this the tank will get Radiation Burn. This is a 12-second dot left on the tank from Particle Pulse. This will tick 4 times for about 50k damage each tick. And then we have Doom. This is a one-shot ability that the boss will cast on a random player. This needs to be intercepted by the tank. The tank will take no damage and the player will be saved. He will cast some firewalls that move slowly back and forth from the boss. Just avoid them as best as you can. They do not one-shot, however they do about 30k damage. So let's talk about the second phase. The second phase he will cast an ability called Collapsing Worlds. There will be portals spawning around the room. 1 healer and the tank will need to go into the portals, while the rest of the DPS stays outside and DPS the World Collapser. This is the focus that you see here. It has 7.5 million HP and needs to die within the time limit. More to this later. Once the World Collapser is dead, the boss will aggro reset. The tank needs to taunt him after each World Collapser dies. Below 20% the boss will enter the last phase. He will now activate one of the World Collapser. You will have 7 seconds to go hide behind it before the cast Scorching Light is done. This is a one-shot AoE. And that's all there is to this fight. Let's go fight this guy. Before you pull, you will want to split your raid into 2 man groups and assign them 2 beams so they can take turns in interrupting the arcane power beams. So pull the boss, he doesn't cleave. You can see the red beams coming from the outside to the boss now. These are the arcane power beams you need to interrupt. To interrupt the beam, just position yourself in top of it. As you can see, while interrupting the beam, you gain stacks increasing damage you take. Don't take more than 6 stacks or so. He is now casting Zone of Death. You can see the cone AoE, just avoid that. He is now casting Doom on a player. This is a one-shot ability. This needs to be intercepted by the tank. The tank will take no damage and the player will be saved. Here you can see Chains of Fate. All 3 players must stack on each other to remove this buff. Don't run over other players with it, as the AoE deals a lot of damage. And we have reached the first portal phase. All the DPS have to nuke the World Collapser, while the tank and the healer goes inside the portals. When you enter the portal, this will show you another reality. You can still heal all the players while inside, but you can also get the Chains of Fate while inside, so be ready to run if you need to. While inside you have to destroy all the silver pods. Just get close enough to one and right click to destroy it. There are 4 pods in the first portal phase. Inside you will also see mobs called World Eaters. Just ignore them and destroy the pods. Once all the pods are destroyed, you will come back to the boss room. If you fail to destroy all the silver pods within the time limit, you will come back to the boss room and bring the ads with you. However, this isn't the end of the world. If this happens, just have all your DPS kill the World Eaters first and then resume the fight. And don't forget to taunt the boss at this point. You can see him channeling Particle Pulse on the tank now. After the channel you see that I have the 12-second debuff. This is Radiation Burn. You need to keep healing the tank. This is Zone of Life. Everyone has to get inside the safe zone before the cast is done. And you will just repeat all this until you are below 25%. Okay, so below 25% he will stop doing the arcane power beams. He will still do all his other mechanics plus a new one. The new ability is called Scorching Light. You have 7 seconds to go hide behind the World Collapser. If you fail to do so, you will be one-shotted. The World Collapser will spawn a few seconds before he starts casting Scorching Light, so if you pay attention you might see it before the cast is starting. However, you should not run too soon because he can still cast Zone of Life and kill people that ran too early. So this is the fight how it should be. But, you know, Rift being Rift and all, you never know what's actually supposed to be and what's not. The last few kills we did, he didn't cast Scorching Light anymore, so I don't know if they removed Scorching Light or not, so I still explained it. If he doesn't cast Scorching Light, this is how you should do the last phase. Below 25% after the last portal phase, he will stop doing the arcane power beams. You can now have your raid stacking underneath the boss, you will not get hit by any firewalls, and it is also really easy to solve the Chains of Fate, since everyone is nicely stacked. And that's all there is to this fight. And that's it guys, good luck on your kill. I will add the carrier alerts that I have for this fight in the video info, so make sure you check that out. Please smash that like button if you enjoyed this video, and make sure you subscribe for future uploads. And as always, thanks for watching!